Hi guys, welcome to our nutrition discussion. My name is Tyler Hunter and I'm here with my client Wayne. Wayne and I have been personal training together for a while now. He goes to our local gym where I work at. Basically what we're here to talk about is vitamin D. Wayne came to me with a question the other day and I thought it would be good for the discussion. So Wayne, why don't you tell the discussion listeners what exactly is going on and what your question was? Hi guys, my name is Wayne. Basically, I am an electrical engineer here in central Pennsylvania. I work for a power company. I am 54 years old, and I am pre-diabetic, borderline diabetic because of my weight. Basically, I sit in an office 12 hours a day. I don't go outside a whole lot. I have a lot of pollen allergies, so I really try to avoid being outside a whole lot. So basically, I don't get a whole lot of outside time. Basically, a long story short, what happened was I went to my doctor and I had my blood work done. And what he had told me was that, among other things, besides my diet being lacking in quality, I have a very low vitamin D level. Being an engineer, I don't deal with that stuff a whole lot, so I came to Tyler to talk about that to see what was going on. I had a lot of questions about it, and one of my main questions was, is vitamin D absolutely necessary for me? Is it something that I need to make sure that I'm getting enough of every day? And what exactly should I do about that? Because I don't really know what I'm doing, and I thought by changing my diet I'd be getting enough, but my doctor told me because we live in Pennsylvania that might not be an issue, and so I might have to actually take a supplementation. So I came to Tyler, and that was my question. Wayne actually brings up a really good point because being in Pennsylvania and living here in a northern state, we have a lot of cold months. 6 months, 7 months of the year is cold. And so on top of people being more sedentary and not being outside enough and doing physical activity, people like Wayne who work in an office all day really don't get any outside time, especially with his pollen allergies. So one of the big problems and the risk we run on top of other things is vitamin D deficiency. Wayne, believe it or not, we actually get a lot of our vitamin D from the sunshine. We need sunshine to meet our vitamin D requirements. We can get some of it through food, which comes through dairy products and other things. But the main thing that we need is sunlight. And obviously you're not getting that. So to answer your question right now, and I'm going to back it up in a little bit, is I think supplementation would be a great idea. It's definitely something worth talking to your doctor and your dietitian about. I'm not a licensed dietitian, so I can't prescribe anything or tell you this is exactly what you should take and when you should take it and how much. But I do think, based off of research and based off your current condition, that it is a good idea. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble nutrient that we need every single day. So yes, you absolutely do need to take care of this issue, and you do need it every day because it has a lot of importance. Vitamin D, one of the main contributors it does to our bodies is it helps with bone density. It helps our bodies use calcium for bone density. On top of that, it helps with immune health. It helps with autoimmune diseases, with cognitive function, with metabolic diseases, skeletal disease, and even tiredness. So, like I said, you absolutely do need it, and it's important to get. And so, let me back some of that up with research. Some of the current research that's out there, there's a lot of vitamin D research, but some of the stuff that I think is really applicable to your situation, one of them being Couchet and his colleagues back in just this past year in 2015 published a study on prediabetes, which is what you actually have. What they found was that after 12 months of vitamin D supplementation, the fasting glucose levels in those subjects that were taking the supplementation actually lowered, which in the long run actually helps reduce your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. So your glucose is what will contribute to that if your glucose is high. So it helps reduce that, and that'll could potentially decrease your risk of developing the diabetes. So it's absolutely something worth considering just based off of something like that. Another really great piece of research was from Close and his colleagues, which was back in 2012. What they did was they tested 8 weeks of vitamin D supplementation on athletes. And what they found was that after those 8 weeks, there was an improvement in measurements of the musculoskeletal performance related to speed, strength, and power. Now, I know that you're not an athlete, but it goes to the bottom line that vitamin D supplementation can essentially help with muscle efficiency. And as an engineer, I'm sure you can understand that muscle efficiency is involved in every single day, no matter whether you're an athlete or an elderly person. We all need that muscle efficiency. We all need general strength, regular strength. We all need power to stand up and do other movements throughout the day. We need even speed comes into play with some things. But it all contributes, and it all fits to everybody. In that study, they tested the 10-meter run, the vertical jump, the 1 rep max in bench press and back squat. So like I said, it absolutely applies to you in your situation, just solely off of muscle efficiency and how that can relate to your daily function from a muscle standpoint. Lastly, another great study was by Camargo et al., which was back in 2014. And basically they indicated that vitamin D supplementation improved winter-related atopic dermatitis, which is commonly referred to as eczema. Now, that's also another bigger stretch too for a study related to you, but it was even done on Mongolian children. However, the thing that I think is a really big take-home message is it shows just how important vitamin D is for our immune functioning, because these kids, especially in the wintertime in Mongolia, they were developing this atopic dermatitis. Vitamin D helped that. It helped relieve those symptoms and the disease in general and helped combat that. And it goes back to what I said earlier. Vitamin D absolutely helps with our immune function, with a lot of other fighting diseases throughout our life and our daily life. So those 3 studies alone all relate to you, whether directly or indirectly, of just how important this vitamin D actually is. And if you're not getting enough of it, certain things like this actually start to come into play. And so if you are getting enough of it, you can combat things like prediabetes, or hopefully combat. You know, I mean, none of this research is applicable to every single person, but it's a great start, and it's something that's worth considering if they're finding these results in other studies. So this stuff absolutely applies to you. So it does go back to answer my answer to your question was that vitamin D is absolutely necessary, and it's very important to get in everyday life. It's important to meet all those requirements. With that being said, what you should do about it is, like I said, talk to your dietitian, talk to your doctor, and see how exactly that could help you, and what exactly they can do as far as requirements, how much you should be taking, when you should be taking it, etc., what kind. Because like I said, I'm not a dietitian and I can't prescribe that to you, but I do think that it would be a really good idea. And it also goes back to what I said about us being in Pennsylvania, especially in the wintertime, we just don't get enough vitamin D. And vitamin D is so crucial, and we could talk all day about the importance of it and all the benefiting factors. So you absolutely do need it. And especially being in Pennsylvania, working in an office all day, not getting enough sunlight, your diet is just now starting to come around. All of those things really contribute to that deficiency in general. So having that will really help set you forward with where you want to go with your health and where you want to go with your daily life. You know, getting older is never easy. Our bodies are starting to fall apart. So making sure that we're getting enough essential nutrients, vitamins and minerals all together, like vitamins like, you know, A, D, B, E, K, all those, and back to vitamin D, you know, it's so important for you. So Wayne, I hope that this helps you. I hope that I answered your question, and I hope that I encourage you in the future. And I hope that, you know, you can always come to me or somebody else like this in the class that, you know, we can help you. We can always point you in the right direction and give you that general information. So I appreciate you meeting with me, and I appreciate you listening to my advice.